All right. Hello and welcome. This is Mr. Aaron from the House of Aaron, and we're now live. So, this is Mr. Aaron from the House of Aaron, one of your middle class millionaires. I'd like to welcome you to another broadcast from the ABC 123. I said it, the ABC 123 Business Mindset Training. And today, all this week we've been talking about humble, hungry, and happy. So Monday we did a review of all the definitions of humble, hungry, and happy. And Tuesday we covered humble. Wednesday we did our study hall. We were looking into the GoPro book by Eric Worre. We're going to be studying that chapter by chapter. And today we are covering, one of my favorite things. You got to be hungry, like Les Brown said. You got to with the ET the hip hop preacher said, you gotta want it as bad as you want to breathe. I said, no, you gotta want it as bad as you want to eat, because you gotta be hungry in business to ensure yourself some success. You gotta be hungry in business. So let's look deeper into it. Humble, hungry, happy. A little quick review. We're gonna say humble. The definition for humble was not proud, not thinking of yourself as better than others. Hungry was a feeling a strong desire or need for something, or a feeling or need to do something. So, and happy was feeling pleasure and enjoyment because of your life, your situation, or etc. Your business. We're talking about you're gonna be happy in your business. So when we did letter A, which was humble, and we talked about being humble in business, was to keeps you open to others. We came to number one was you don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers. We got to be able to admit our faults, because we're never going to stop learning. Then we went into number two, which was learn from our losses, because there's others out there that are better than us. Others just going to continue to win, and we can learn from them, right? We can learn from those losses. We can learn. We got to be around those people who are going to set a pace that we're going to feel like we're losing, so we can strive to be stronger and get better by watching them. And then number three for being humble was you got to learn to laugh at yourself, because you're going to do some silly things out here. You're going to get some things wrong. You're going to say something that's crazy, and it's going to show up, right? So you got to learn how to laugh at yourself. So now we're going into part B. So when we get to letter B, we're talking about being hungry. So if you're being hungry in your business, right? You're being hungry in your business, it's going to be three things. We're going to cover these three things pretty fast. Probably give a little story, a little insight on all those three things, because we're talking about the 1, 2, 3 of being hungry for your business, right? Being hungry. Now ET told us we gotta want it as bad as we want to breathe. You gotta want it as bad as you want to eat. Who's counting? Who's starving? Who would be starving if you don't do what you do? Who's gonna be starving? What family members do you have to feed? What people are depending on you for the security? What's that? The food, clothing, shelter thing. Who's depending on you? Hey, we're gonna go into there about how to stay hungry in your business, right? How to be hungry, how to stay hungry in business. So let's get right into it. We got number one. Number one says, value the small. Value the small. I mean, I hear ET talk about it. I hear ET, the hip hop preacher, talk about it all the time. He talk about master the mundane. Now you can see behind me, I run a daycare. I'm doing the internet thing. For those who on Facebook Live, they can see I just got finished playing a baseball game. Just walked in the house at like 11:10. Checked on my newborn, who's only a week old. Checked on my other two children. Got 3 kids, wife. Went in, gave everybody a kiss, made a plate. Came down here. I didn't even shower. Just boom, straight down here. I'm mastering small. This live stream is small right now. But look, I gotta be able to value it. It's adding value for me because I get to go and dive into these subjects, dive into those 3 words: humble, hungry, happy. I said, I can't miss this just because I just got in late. I can't miss it just because the NBA Finals is on. I got to be here. I got to be able to dive in. I got to value the small. I like doing the live stream because guess what? It helps me expand my horizons, helps me get more knowledge, right? So, valuing the small, how do you do that? I told you, the daycare, I have to value the small. I gotta value the little bit of children the state allows me to have in the in-home daycare. Because as I value the small, guess what? Opportunities are presenting themselves. I will be able to probably get rid of one of my couches, open it up, move the water and sand table, and just be like, hey, come back and evaluate my basement. Let me get some more sleeping equipment, and then my number will double of how many children I could have here. Not only that, I will have to hire someone to come in. But I want to master the small. I want that person to come in and they understand what my values are, right? I want them to value the small, but I need them to know what my values, what my benchmarks is for here, because I've been open. My daycare been open since 2012. Every child that came through, whether they was here for 2 months, whether they was here for years, they left here, went to the next school, and became honor roll students, right? So I'm trying to keep that going. I want the person who's going to come in and help. I want the person who, if I bring someone in, that they will be able to, they feel that they have value and they value what's going on here. Not to say, well, there's only going to be 12 kids, because I didn't think like that. I've been full since I became full in this with the 6 children the state allowed me. When I hit the status of full, I've been full ever since, right? So they said you can only get 6 children. Once I maxed out at 6 children, I've been full ever since inside the daycare. So you gotta value the small, because one day it's gonna get greater. One day it's gonna get greater, you're gonna do greater, you're gonna be greater. And you gotta be ready for the greatness, because you gotta master the small. You gotta be able to, if I could keep the books when it's only worth 30,000, you could keep the books when it's 300,000. I will suggest that you use a professional bookkeeper, yes, because it's going to save you time. But you got to know your numbers too. So many people walk a Shark Tank, they don't know their numbers because they're not hungry enough. They don't know those numbers, and everybody could get on there to master the numbers of whatever business they in, whatever business you have. Get the numbers down pat, because so many of them come in and get the head chopped off on Shark Tank because they don't know the numbers, they misvalue their business, and they miss out on an opportunity with someone who was already making money, a big time investor. So value the small, because you're going to be looking to the great, right? Which brings to number two. Number two, they said, number two, I wrote down, be you, get better at now. You can't go out and overspend and do things like what the people be doing. They try to position themselves and be somebody they're not. You renting helicopters, you ain't got helicopter money. You want to go what they call ball at the club. You want to go be a ball at the club. You don't have the money. That's your rent money that you balling with. You're setting yourself up for failure. You gotta be you right where you are. Like I said, I'm not rich right now, but that's why I'm middle class millionaire. I'm projecting that I'm going to have my $2.2 million a year as soon as I could get it. I'll be making $2.2 million a year. That way I could buy the gated community for my family. I just set it up. I mean, zombie apocalypse comes, guess what? We're gonna be set. It's gonna be fall back to the gated community, Johnson Estates. Don't come looking for us. Don't come looking for us. There's no we'll be prepared. Like on Walking Dead, they got all them places set up. Yeah, our place gonna be tight, right? So you gotta be you, get better at now, because guess what? You're working towards what you're gonna be in the future. You're working hard. I mean, Be better at the now. Yes, you can carry the title. You can carry the title. You can project out into the future, but you don't want to overextend yourself and stretch yourself out to where you're trying to live the lifestyle that you can't afford, right? So we got to be smart about it, and you got to be you and get better at the now, because one day you will be there. One day the universe will open up and give you exactly what you want. Your prayers will be answered. God will be on your side. But that's why you got to value the small, be diligent at what you have right now, because when it expands, you can't be like, well, I'm just gonna. No, you can't just leave it alone. You got to be ready for it. You got to nurture it. You got to treat it like that bamboo stalk. How long people got to water and do all this stuff with the bamboo, and it does nothing. It stays in the ground, and then in the course of 1 year, that thing shoots up. And if you didn't treat it right before, then it's not going to do what it's supposed to do, right? So be you, get better at the now. I mean, I told the story the other day. Like, look, my friend went to the league because he was always training. He was always getting ready to be in the league. He wasn't overextending himself. He wasn't doing the extra stuff. He was doing what he think he should do to be the best at what he was right then and there. He felt like he wasn't big enough, wasn't strong enough. He got in the weight room. Felt like he wasn't fast enough. He went and ran. I mean, you gotta prepare yourself. You gotta get yourself ready for what you're gonna be, right? So you gotta operate as if, but don't stretch yourself and don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt your family. And last but not least, number 3, we also gonna keep it short and sweet tonight, because the boy, I don't smell good right now. Fresh off the baseball field, still got my baseball pants on, real dusty. But guess what? I'm here because I'm all about my daily progress. I didn't have to reboot, rebuild, reapply. I didn't have to do all this stuff time and time again, from being suspended from Google Plus, getting off of Google Hangouts. Now I'm back on Google Hangouts. I'm trying to see what it's going to say. I got another channel, but I'm trying to keep my videos cataloged on my other page, because I'm making daily progress. Getting smarter, getting wiser of how to do what I do when I do. Because eventually I'm gonna have what I want, be what I want, and do what I want. I mean, you gotta go ahead. You gotta be hungry here in your business. Like I said, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for tonight. I mean, you can get back to me. You can leave a comment down in the comment box. You can check it out. Come to my page, middleclassmillionaire.pw. Click on live hangouts. You watch the other replays. Make sure you comment. Make sure you join the Facebook group. Join us as we are striving to become middle class millionaires. When you join us, listen up now. You get a lot of mindset training stuff. You want to learn how to manage your business. Because if somebody give you $1 million, you don't know what you're doing. You're going to be broke. You're going to probably owe $1 million if you don't have the right mindset. You could be broke with $1 million in your pocket. But someone like me, I'm not making $1 million yet, but I'll manage myself like I do have $1 million. So when I do get the $1 million, whether I'm working with 1,000 or 100,000 or 1 million, I'm still going to have the operating principles. It's going to compound my money to operate and stay hungry for expansion, hungry for knowledge. I probably got to write that down. You got to, because you want to start off in one lane. You want to start off in that seed, and that seed going to grow your tree, and that tree going to grow different branches. And that's all, like we say, wearing different hats. Those branches are going to be what you're going to be next. You're going to start off. I didn't plan on doing all these videos. I never planned on writing children's books for the daycare. I didn't plan on trying to make a product for the daycare. I didn't plan on uh, doing what I'm doing right now. Didn't plan on that stuff. But once the seed was planted, that hey, what my financial advisor say? My financial advisor said, when you turn 65, you and your wife will need $2.2 million to retire comfortably. First of all, I'm not thinking about retirement. Second of all, if I need $2.2 million when I turn 65, why not get $2.2 million while I'm 36? I was 35. I was 35 when I heard it. I'm 36 now. I'm going for the $2.2 million right now. Not waiting on it, not setting it up for it to be right when I turn 65. No, I want to get it every year till for the next 10 years, I want to be making $2.2 million. As Grant Cardone will tell you, you got to 10x everything. You told me 2.2? That's not going to be for me. If I'm destined to be at $2.2 million when I turn 65, I need to go 2.2 times 10. You see the math. You know how it works. Stay hungry. Stay humble. You'll get happy. This is Mr. Aaron from the House of Aaron, one of the middle-class millionaires, where I say be confident, be smart, be fruitful, and multiply. That when you start, you don't stop until you achieve your goals. Good night, good morning. I'll see you on the next call.